For heaven's sake. Hello. Good day, everyone. All the bodies, every part, and the whole in which the holiness of all our holes, including our mouth holes and nose holes and eye holes and ear holes and bum holes and any other holes, the holiness, it all shines through. The wholeness of what me and you are truly is being beaming the bright and holiness in the right way. That is my salvation, which is what I share with you. The word, my word. Whose word? Salvation's. Whose is it? It's holiness's. Who is holy? You are very holy. This is A Course in Miracles. And I did read this one a few days ago, but I think my mic was covered, so I'm rereading it, and I've been taking my time with this one. So, Course in Miracles tells us, by the way, that we may actively resist these things, and that's okay, but that if we hear it, if we listen, if we repeat, if we use it as it tells us to, it will have positive effects for you. I believe this is so. I've seen it be in my life in many ways. I kind of thought, oh, this lesson's going to be ho-hum, bum drum. And then this practice for this day that I'm going to be doing. And then suddenly I'm like, wow, that's not what I thought. It's deeper than I thought. It's more profound. It's better clearing. It's more thorough. It really assists with something specific in my life or something like that. So, but I do find definitely it's true. It tells me it is true of me. I may actively resist this, and I do at times. I notice for sure. Maybe you will too. Maybe you already know you do, or maybe you're like, no, I don't at all. I am A Course in Miracles, and I got no contradiction with anything. And if so, I'd be like, fuck yeah, that's really great. Okay. Before I move on, if you notice, I said a taboo word. A taboo word. Some people call it swearing, and some people call it cursing. Some people call it profanity. It's definitely a taboo word. It's definitely not cursing, actually. Like, it was actually the spirit of the word was positive. It wasn't anything like the spirit of what a curse is like, actually. Technically, pristinely speaking. Along the lines of pristine distinction and definition of what words mean and things. Certainly wasn't a curse word. Nothing like it. Profane according to certain environments, for sure. A taboo word, an intensifier. Those are all true. A swear word? I don't know, man. Swear. Swear is like a promise. I like saying this. Swear words are not curse words. I swear to God, they're not. In the religion I grew up in, saying the Lord's name in vain, God, that's his name, I guess, but saying like God, like without, if you're not speaking about God, you're just saying like that's like the worst official, quote unquote, bad word that you can say in Mormon culture. So anyway, here we are. Let's come back to let's come back to the Course in Miracles, and I just got a funny text, so it kind of interrupted me. My holiness is my salvation. Your holiness is your salvation. His holiness is his salvation. Her holiness is her salvation. Our holiness is our salvation. The holiness is the salvation. Holiness is salvation. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Like the text for which this workbook was written, the ideas used for the exercises are very simple, very clear, and totally unambiguous. We are not concerned with intellectual feats nor logical toys. We are dealing only with the very obvious, which has been overlooked in the clouds of complexity in which you think you think. We're getting to simplicity underneath the clouds of complexity in which you think. We're going underneath it. We're going prior to it, to something that's very obvious. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? This is not difficult, surely. The hesitation you may feel in answering is not due to the ambiguity of the question. It's a clear question, but do you believe that guilt is hell? If you did, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is and would not need a workbook at all. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. So this is lots of interesting packages of information in this specific paragraph. They're tightly packed with meaning, each of these things, including what its opposite is in some way. Okay, so do you believe that guilt is hell? What is the opposite of hell? If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? In some way, you could say what the opposite of hell is or what the opposite of guilt is innocence, actually, definitely. And what the opposite of hell is like heaven, actually. And what is that? That's all like the heavenly mindset, the capacity to have vision, see beyond, through, prior to what seems to be in the way, in some way, the film or the the veil through which we see. And this is unveiling the eyes to be able to see unlimitedly, have seeing not be limited by any specific thing, and instead beyond all things, underneath, throughout all things, given the clear clarity to be able to allow yourself to lovingly see through every appearing phenomenal, ephemeral thing, having also seeing the capacity of the Spirit to be with us within these things we know we believe in, having it meet us in a way that has it unwind our mind from all the specifics, eventually give so much purpose to the film, to the story, to the scenes on the screens, that the purpose is so holy that the film develops holes in it and the light burns right through it. We end up in a happy dream, burn into heaven. Okay, so if you believed that guilt is hell, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is and would not need a workbook at all. This is assuming that there is an opposite of what guilt is and what hell is. This is not what nihilists sort of teach, some of them anyways, who practice fatalism and futility, say there is nothing other than blood on your hands, actually, in some way. But this is saying that there is something that's pristinely the opposite of what not truth is, which is what guilt is, which is not what you are is. You are not that. This is a symbol of what you are not, which is what guilt is. That's what you are not is. That's what the truth isn't. It's like the tiny mad idea that the Course says that was the instigation for the world of appearances. The world of appearances appeared to appear in the mind of God because this mischievous part thought, what if there was something other than the truth? The prime directive of truth is the truth is true. It's always true. Anything other than it is not true. The truth doesn't change to something other than what the truth is. Otherwise, it would change to something other than what the truth is. Anything other than the truth is something that isn't true. There is nothing other than the truth. Anything other than the truth is not true. It's like this pristine logic speaking. That's like the best thing you could say in a sort of circular logical way of the truth, so that you actually break the bonds and have it be unlimitedly true. Beyond all of your opinions of it is what it is. And the capacity for remembering, recognizing, and reminding your world of the fact that it all exists only within the truth wholly, infecting whatever seems to be the effects of the tiny mad idea taken seriously, which is, well, yeah, but what if there was something other than the truth? That's the tiny mad idea. That's the instigation of the Big Bang. That you could say maybe also in some Christian way, you could call it the demiurge or something like that. The desire to demonstrate something other than wholeness, holy. Have there be a battle between light and dark, or truth and lies, or something like that. But the truth knows it doesn't battle against lies. There are no lies in truth, in reality, in everything, and all there is. Okay. That's a big unpackaged thing. So, do you believe that guilt is hell? If so, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is, and would not need a workbook at all. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. We're unveiling the truth of what we are, what we never stepped away from, actually. We just had this tiny little holographic dream that seemed like it existed in time, but it was all just a powerfully packaged, like, crystal of a funny, tiny mad idea, something that we remember to laugh at now, actually, in some way lightheartedly, and give hugs to occasionally kisses on the cheek. Thank you for reminding me. Every memory may be our last one. Let's make it a good one. While here we seem to be in time, from eternity affecting in this our reality. Okay, paragraph number 3. We have already said that your holiness is the salvation of the world. What about your own salvation? You cannot give what you do not have. A Savior must be saved. How else can he teach salvation? Today's exercises will apply to you, recognizing that your salvation is crucial to the salvation of the world. As you apply the exercises to your world, the whole world stands to benefit. Your holiness is the answer to every question that was ever asked. It is being asked now, or will be asked in the future. Uncompromisingly so, your holiness means the end of guilt, and therefore the end of hell. Everywhere, your holiness is the salvation of the world and your own. How uncompromising could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? How could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his Son? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his Son? A full 5 minutes are urged for the 4 longer practice periods for today. And longer and more frequent practice sessions are encouraged. So full 5 minutes 4 times a day, longer or more frequent, can be encouraged. If you want to extend the minimum requirements, more rather than longer sessions are recommended, although both are suggested. So more frequent than 4 times a day is more suggested than longer durational times, but both are encouraged. Begin the practice periods as usual by repeating today's idea to yourself. Then, with closed eyes, search out your unloving thoughts in whatever form they appear: uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity, and so on. Whatever form they take, they are unloving and therefore fearful, and so it is from them you need to be saved, from these thoughts, these uneasy, depressed, angry, fearful, worry, attack, and security ones. Paragraph number 7. Specific situations, events, or personalities you associate with unloving thoughts of any kind are suitable subjects for today's exercises. Hey, can you give me 1 second, Gary? Just a few more minutes?
Of course.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. It is imperative for your salvation that you see them differently. These events or personalities you associate with unloving thoughts of any kind are suitable subjects for today's exercises. It's imperative for your salvation that you see them differently than what you think they are for, and you give them the purpose of reminding you to see beyond them to your salvation and your forgiveness. For what giving? And it's the meaning, this meaningful meaning, to see clearly, clarity beyond anything that seems specifically in the way. It is your blessing on them that will save you and give you vision, your vision. It is your blessing on them. Thank you. Thank you for blessing me with the contrast learning to be able to see beyond what I know I don't want to see. And through the underneath, I can give to the vision of what I am seeing, the purpose of forgiveness, foreseeing the meaning that I've given it, to be beyond itself, a clarity that's underneath everything. Slowly, without conscious selection and without undue emphasis on any one in particular, search your mind for every thought that stands between you and your salvation. Apply the idea for today to each of them in this way. My unloving thoughts about blank are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. This is like one we did earlier. It says it even there. We said our holiness is the salvation of the world. This is our holiness is our salvation, our self's salvation. My unloving thoughts about blank are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation now. Salvation is now. You may find these practice periods easier if you intersperse them with several short periods during which you merely repeat today's idea to yourself, slowly, a few times. You may also find it helpful to include a few short intervals in which you just relax and do not seem to be thinking of anything. Sustained concentration is very difficult at first. It will become much easier as your mind becomes more disciplined and less distractible. Meanwhile, you should feel free to introduce a variety into the exercise periods in whatever form appeals to you. Do not, however, change the idea itself as you vary the method of applying it. However you may elect to use it, the idea should be stated so that its meaning is the fact that your holiness is your salvation. Each practice period, by repeating the idea in its original form once more, each practice period by repeating the idea in its original form once more and adding, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? This is a question the mind will be led by. And in the shorter applications, which should be made some 3 or 4 times an hour, and more if possible, you may ask yourself this question. Repeat today's idea, and preferably both. If temptation arises, a particularly helpful form of the idea is, my holiness is my salvation from this. So if you feel yourself tempted to feel guilt or something like this, my holiness is my salvation from this. Also, in the shorter periods, we can ask, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Remember, my holiness is my salvation. Okay, everybody, have a great day. I love you so much. Mwah.